Well, it doesn't take an artist to appreciate this. But there's more to... Self-prescribed remedies to your throat. Or when you feel like...
The 40 tiny coral islands surrounding a lagoon is Iguana Atoll in mid-Pacific, part of the Marshall Islands freed from Japan in World War II. Now historic films made in the spring of...
matter, deliberately thrust into your ear. Or when it comes to a...
1948 and just released, show Iguana preparing for heavily guarded and still largely secret tests of new atomic weapons. The test's purpose is to measure atomic effects on thousands of different materials, 30,000 tons of them, not, as at Bikini, to prove military effectiveness.
With your nose.
Special towers, automatic cameras will record the explosions. There are no newsmen, no foreign observers present as members of the 10,000-man Task Force T leave shore for safety just before the explosion of America's 6th atom bomb at Eniwetok, now the Atomic Energy Commission's permanent proving ground. Robot planes take off for atmospheric measurements. The bombs will not be dropped from the air.
Energy may be made usefully available by other types of transformations. Sticks of dynamite, for example, contain a large amount of chemical potential energy. This chemical energy is transformed into heat energy when the dynamite is set off by the electric spark. The sudden expansion of gases, the explosion, accomplishes work.
At control stations, all is ready. Now.
Don't risk.
This is bomb number 6, a new atomic weapon, not an improvement of an old design. The 5 bombs set off in New Mexico, over Japan, and at Bikini are, in scientific terms, already ancient. Flash of bomb number 6 is seen by shipboard observers.
In most matches, however...
And here is bomb number 7.
Don't do it. Don't take it.
Seen from a different angle, its death-dealing radioactive cloud spreads for miles above the Pacific. This is bomb number 8. Atoll, the world's mightiest agent of destruction, presents its unspoken and unanswerable argument for peace and for preparedness.
This continent, this spinning Earth, contains an inexhaustible supply of energy. We can as yet only speculate as to whether we shall ever be able to unlock the prodigious stores of intrinsic energy now bound up in the tiny atoms of which all matter is composed. In our never-ending search for new sources of energy to drive our machines, at some time in the distant future. The frog has become a land animal. Previous to this stage, he spent all his time in the water. Because of these 2 stages,
feel a lot safer if we had some new wiring.
Ruined buildings are bombed, captured, and retaken, but the will to hold never falters. Every battered factory becomes a battleground, producing German casualties. Reinforcements arrive when Stalingrad's capture seems imminent. This tragic... As autumn comes, hope rises again in Russia. All that Hitler could give, they've taken for a second time. And from battered Stalingrad, small patrols move forward toward...
Germany is one of our best markets for agricultural exports, and the trade fair exhibits in that country have been outstandingly successful. U.S. orange juice, made from frozen concentrate, is an ideal product for sampling at trade fairs. Colorful and tasty, it never fails to make friends. And here's another taste favorite, popular everywhere, the good old American donut, advertising U.S. flour and American cooking lard. Free samples give a taste, but fair visitors often ask, where can we buy these products? So, whenever possible, arrangements are made to sell direct from the U.S. exhibit. One of the first products to be sold was ready-to-cook poultry, a fairly new export item. One piece of chicken, fried to a golden brown and served piping hot with cranberry sauce and a fresh roll, sells for the equivalent of 25 cents. And the product scores a big hit with Germany's traditionally hearty eaters. Thanks to these exhibits and other promotions, U.S. poultry exports to Europe have risen in a few years from virtually nothing to a multi-million-dollar business. As varied as the American farm products themselves are the formats in which they are shown to foreign viewers. In Bogota, Colombia, for example, the exhibit includes a style show featuring the U.S. made of cotton. Purpose? To boost sales of cotton products. Halfway around the world in Osaka, Japan, another trade fair audience sees fashions made from U.S. cotton. Verona, Italy, crowds pass through a model of a gigantic beef steer to learn about the latest in U.S. feeds and feeding methods. This mobile exhibit to boost sales of U.S. feed grains has been shown from Scandinavia to the toe of Italy. Corn, grain, sorghums, and other feed grains are a natural for promotion at agricultural shows, attended largely by farm people and local businessmen. An always popular exhibit shows how recombined milk is made. First, put in dried non-fat milk. Then add butterfat. Mix thoroughly. Pasteurized, homogenized, cooled, and it's ready to drink. A delicious product that can hardly be told from fresh milk. At another fair, it may be an American-style supermarket. Its shelves stocked with the packaged and prepared foods that are familiar to urban Americans, but new in many parts of the world. American fruits, fresh, canned, or dried, are appetizing and appealing to trade fair visitors. They're available for export to any part of the world. In Lausanne, Switzerland, cakes made from mixes are whipped up and served in full view of fair visitors. Easily shipped and stored abroad, these mixes are catching on in many parts of the world. Demonstration kitchens also show the advantages of convenience foods such as frozen dinners. U.S. rice gets strong promotion at all European trade fairs. Result, a tenfold increase in U.S. rice exports to Western Europe since 1956. One of the oldest U.S. export crops is tobacco, shipped abroad for more than 300 years. Fascinating to Japanese trade fair visitors is this exhibit showing the actual manufacture of cigarettes containing American leaf. Few Japanese have ever seen the machinery in operation. Cigarettes are handed out as samples, too, and foreign smokers, like this Japanese gentleman, like the flavor and quality. American tobacco growers rely on exports for nearly a third of their market. There's growing demand in Europe and the Orient for U.S. soybeans, both in livestock feeds and in food products. Foods containing soybean protein are demonstrated at a German trade fair. Cooking oil is important, too. The growth of the American soybean industry is one of agriculture's modern miracles. To assure that Uncle Sam gets his share of the crowds, special promotions are used. This London Fair visitor redeems a coupon clipped from her newspaper at the cake mix exhibit. She gets a special introductory price. Another uses her coupon to buy a jar of American honey to try at home. German viewers, too, prove to be ardent coupon clippers. Here in Munich, the approach is a little different. Under a grab bag arrangement, each coupon holder is entitled to an American food item. Prizes include loaves of bread made with U.S. flour, also honey, rice, canned soups, fruit, cake mixes, canned chicken, even some frozen turkeys. Fair officials credit the U.S. coupon plan with bringing a definite increase in fair attendance. Thousands of the people who attend the trade fair are businessmen who are directly or indirectly involved in international trade. U.S. industry representatives attend every foreign exhibit to make the contacts that can translate samples into shipments.